with your host, Upper Perkiomen School District Superintendent, Dr. Alan Roche.
We are Upper Perk. We are Upper Perk. Shouting loud, make it work.
Welcome to our fourth episode of Inside Upper Perk, the Superintendent's View podcast. 'Tis the season between Thanksgiving and winter break, where we have our school concerts and performances, excitement for the upcoming break and the new year, and the traditions that take place at each school prior to the winter break. And today I'm wearing a Santa tie skiing with his reindeer, so hopefully it gets us into the season. I have just a couple of announcements before we talk to our guests on today's podcast. First, I want to make an open invitation to the entire Upper Perk community, including students, teachers, staff, administrators, and school board members, as well as residents, to share innovative ideas, potential solutions, and participate in our first Upper Perk Innovation Fair, Preserving Today and Planning for Tomorrow. Do you remember participating in a science fair? The format for the Innovation Fair will feel very similar. We'll have lots of display boards, probably some laptops that'll showcase ideas as the community members walk through to learn and engage. And we're looking for you, for your creative suggestions to help shape the future of Upper Perk, as well as examine ways to improve district efficiency, increase revenue, and explore ways to reduce expenditures. Later today, I'm looking forward to talking to third grade students to invite them to participate. So hopefully we'll see some of them in the fair. So on Thursday, February 26th, we're hosting an evening event that will be open to the public for feedback and collaborative conversations. Additional information and registration forms are now available on our website. So I'll be visiting classrooms, as I said, later today, as well as all through December and early January to encourage students to participate. I hope the general Upper Perk community will look forward and get involved and be a part of the Innovation Fair. So as we're in December, we're always getting prepared for the potential snow and impact that it has on our ability to hold in-person school. At the December board meeting, I reviewed the options that we have available if we get snow and ice and other inclement weather. I'm still a fan of the traditional snow day. I'm looking forward to calling a snow day when we get that big snowstorm that everyone can go out and enjoy. We also have 5 flexible instructional days, the FID days, where we're able to have instruction while students are at home, and teachers are at home, and it still counts as a day for us. So on a FID day, the teachers post the work by a certain time, and students have to complete it by the end of the day. But it's definitely an opportunity for us to keep the calendar moving forward and keep instruction on those days that maybe we can't get out and enjoy the snow. Finally, I'd like to wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season as we're getting closer to winter break. I did hear some feedback about December 22nd and 23rd and wish we had some of those days off. But we also have a nice 12-day winter break ahead of us. So Happy New Year to everyone, and let's have a great 2026. With that, let's get into the conversation today as we have some fabulous guests on today's episode. As this is our fourth episode of Inside Upper Perk, the Superintendent's View podcast, we are welcoming our fourth of the 5 school principals today. So please join me in welcoming Mrs. Alison Stephens, principal at Marlborough Elementary School, to the podcast. Thanks for joining me today. I'm looking forward to talking with you and learning more about you as well as about Marlborough Elementary School.
Special place.
Yes.
Special place.
So let's start off with an easy question. So what first drew you to a career in education?
It's a great first question. What a story. I remember exactly where I was, too, when I decided I wanted to be an educator. So, long story short, I was on the beach in Sea Isle City. My aunt was telling me about the story of Helen Keller and how she was deaf and blind, and she learned to read, write, communicate, all of those really amazing things that Anne Sullivan taught Helen Keller to do. And I remember her, my aunt Sue, actually was signing into my palm to explain how she learned how to read and write and to communicate. And I was just thought that was so amazing. And then that day I thought I want to do that and learn that. And that was actually what I started to go to school for, was to be a teacher of the blind and deaf. And that was not the path I took, but that was the beginning of my journey, and to inspired my personal passion to want to be an educator. So
Nice.
That's where I started. Yeah.
So when I first started here at Upper Perk, you had a curriculum role here at the Ed Center and then moved to Marlborough as a principal, but I believe you had a couple other positions, or at least one other position here at Upper Perk. So share your journey here at Upper Perk to get to the principalship at Marlborough.
Yeah. I started in 2013 as the high school assistant principal with Dr. Rob Carpenter, and who was not a doctor at the time, and Mr. Vidge. And they welcomed me to the high school. And I came in, I started around May. And my first conversation with Rob was, hey, I'm going to have a baby in October.
Okay.
And, I worked throughout the summertime and immediately went on a maternity leave in the following year, but was super grateful to be here as the high school assistant principal. A few years after that, I came to the Ed Center to replace AJ Giuliani. He was the Curriculum Technology and Innovation Specialist, so I took over in that role at the Ed Center and learned a lot about district leadership and how to lead people through curriculum writing and development from a district lens. So that was a great perspective and how to, look at things K-12 instead of just, I had a very high school focus. So that was a cool perspective to have. And then I joined Marlborough shortly thereafter that, and have been there since the year of COVID when we went out in that crazy year. That was my first year as a principal, figuring out what to do. What a fun journey that was. So that led me to Marlborough, and I've been very lucky and grateful to have that position and to lead that building. It's a great place.
Right. Now, you and I met before I started working here. I think we attended the same PD session, an ASRO workshop. Yeah, I think I remember sitting next to you at one of the workshops. I'm trying to think IU or something like that. So you don't remember?
I don't.
Wow, I must have had a great impression. I remember you though.
Oh, that's good. Thanks,
Yes.
Alan.
Yes. So another note here about the Harlem Wizards.
Wow, what a loud event, and so fun though.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yes.
We brought Reese, Bryce, and Jace, who wanted to join me, so they got to watch Mom out on the court. I want to shout out Mr. Stern. He opened with a 3 for the Upper Perk team.
Yeah.
Still amazed me. So
Yes.
I also, one of my favorite parts about it was the mom wobble in the beginning.
Yeah.
They had all the moms dropping it like they were hot.
Yes.
So that was one of my favorite parts.
Yes. And then they had the one dad that came down and danced tremendously. If you remember, there's
Yes!
one dad that came down. I don't know where he was from, but he had some moves.
He did.
Yes.
He did. So
Actually, that was one of the highlights, I think, when the students were there doing, before the game, doing their layups and layup line. You were out there dancing with them.
That's what I love to do.
There you go. All right, let's shift gears here. Let's take a look and reflect a little bit on Marlborough. So what stands out to you as being most proud of as principal at Marlborough?
I'm so proud to be the principal there. I feel like this is like on repeat, but Blue Ribbon was just such an amazing process to go through, to be recognized for, to enjoy with the kids, to just as such a great community building event, to have the parents come in and just celebrate alongside their kids, our great school that we have right there in Green Lane. That's my most probably career moment, to be honest.
You drove that. You were the leader of that whole motion.
Yeah, it was something, I said when I started the journey that it was a retirement goal for me, and then I said, no, this is a right now goal, and we got it done, and to have it all come together, to be on the news, there was a helicopter there, and the kids all thought, knew it was there for them, and that was just such an amazing time. That's not just a proud moment for Marlborough, but, proud for everyone that joined in that process plan together with me. Proud to celebrate our teachers, proud to celebrate our staff, proud to celebrate our kids there. It was really just such a career highlight for me. So glad to participate and bring that to Marlborough.
So as you mentioned the teachers, what are some things that you see as principal that the parents or the general public wouldn't see because they're obviously not in the school on a daily basis? But I've seen examples with my opportunity in the schools and seeing the teachers go above and beyond. I'm sure you have some opportunities to brag here on some of the staff that really do on a daily basis tremendous amount of work.
Yeah, so we have so many teachers and staff members that are moms and dads and grandparents, and they just they do not work a school day. Our teachers do not work a school day. Our staff does not work a school day. They make sure from the moment that kids walk into the door that they're, get a smile and they're checking kids out, making sure everybody's okay, making sure they feel welcome from the moment they step in that door. So I'm just, really proud of our teachers that go and are basically willing to get to know individual kids and, will really do just about anything to make sure that that child feels cared for, successful, supported, that they can read and write, that they're loved, they feel loved. I heard a teacher just this week say, tell a kid who was having actually a medical incident, say, I love you, I care for you, I want to make sure you're okay.
Right.
And our teachers really do care deeply, and our staff does care deeply for kids. And to see that really in action every day is the most gratifying part of my job, for sure. So.
Yeah, I think there was an example a couple of weeks ago that was shared with us where a teacher may have stopped by the house to help the family and the child, and that really spoke volumes.
Sure. It
Not
sure does.
not required, not necessary, but a part of what they do.
Yeah. And some of our staff they're literally moms and dads, but they're giving up their time to run clubs. We're running STEM club right now. We're running math club. So they're not working the hours, the typical hours. They're showing up at birthday parties. They're going to the kids, sporting events. So to see that just happen and to know how much that means to families and kids really makes Marlborough what it is. It's a special place.
I have not gotten a birthday invitation from anyone yet, but maybe that's a retirement goal for me.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. So think about the students that are with you K through 3, and then they move to 4, 5, and they continue to move on. And we know we have that graduation walk at the end, at the end of the year, and the seniors come back, and obviously all they want to do is take a picture on the playground and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
So what is, as the principal, what do you hope former Marlborough students would say about their experience at Marlborough? Kind of like, I remember Marlborough, it was what?
Yep. I want them to think, wow, Marlborough is where I wanted to be when I was a kid, right? That's what I want them to remember coming back from, going back as a high schooler, coming back to visit Marlborough. Man, I love this place. I miss this place. It made me who I was. Actually, I want kids to have fun at school. And that's if they can read and
Can't
write.
tell that from your personality in our conversation.
I want them to love coming to school. And I think if they want to be there, then, all the other things will fall into line, making sure that they can read, write, and do math and become mathematicians, but making sure they have fun at school and enjoy coming every day. That's what I want them to know as they move up through the grade levels here at Upper Perk. So.
Right. Probably a goal for all principals to
Yes.
have that same conversation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to brag about? Any final things you're thinking about that you want to share here?
I had a teacher talk to me last year, and she said to me, I want you to know that great things are happening at Marlborough. And I said, great things are happening at Marlborough, and it's so important to step back and think about that. And that's not happening because of me. That's happening because of what's happening every day in our classrooms, in our hallways, on our playground. Our teachers are always trying to get a little bit better and always trying to learn a little bit more and tweak things to make it a little bit better. And we go back and we talk about feedback and this is how we could have made it just a little bit better. Hey, we did a great job, but we could get a little bit better here. This is something we didn't think about or catch the first time. Let's tweak it a little bit more. So just to have that open dialogue with people to get a little bit better every day and focus there is so amazing. The dedication, the time and effort our staff puts in to really make Marlborough, great things happen at Marlborough is unmatched, and I'm proud to be there every day. So.
Sounds like the growth mindset, right?
Yes.
In terms of that conversation.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much for sharing and taking time out of your day to talk with me. Stay tuned for our next guest as we discuss the upcoming winter season and how our schools deal with snow and ice. All right, I'm excited to have the opportunity today to talk and learn more about our next guest on the podcast. Please join me in welcoming a member of our Upper Perkiomen Maintenance Department, as he is the go-to person at Upper Perk for many things, but most importantly, he assists anyone with an issue or concern with the temperature of the classroom or office. So please welcome Mr. Phil Weinsteiger.
Thank you, Dr. Alan Roach. I appreciate you having me here. It's great to be here, and I appreciate the invitation.
Yes. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're feeling good and looking forward to our conversation. So we're ready to jump right in?
Let's go.
All right. So how long have you been a part of the district, and what do you enjoy most about your role here in the maintenance department?
I've been here since June of 2021, and every day is different, and meeting all the nice teachers and students and staff. It's been great. It's been a great experience for me.
Good. We're glad. And for those of you that don't know, what does a typical day look like for a maintenance person in your department, or maybe for you specifically? What does that day look like?
Well, every day's different, but mine starts off with looking at the BAS system. The BAS system is the building automated system that control the heat and air conditioning for everybody and trying to keep everybody happy.
Is that possible?
It's a challenge.
Okay. Let me know if that is. When you find out how to make everyone happy, I would love to know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, I do all 6 buildings and deal with any concerns or problems. And we can find problems ahead of time by looking into the system.
Right.
So we address them as we go, and that basically dictates our day.
Yeah. I know you and I had a conversation couple of months back where it was there was a meeting going on, and it was, it's really cold in here, and that's because I did not have the meeting put into the system.
Correct.
So you had no idea what was going on, so which is the power of that FMX system and submitting those reports. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll have the meeting, and then all of a sudden we're frozen because you're assuming there's no one here. So let's lower those temperatures to not waste the heat and the energy and the money, and then all of a sudden.
That's correct. The FMX system really helps us out. Scheduling everything, we know what's going on. We know how to make events happen and make it worth and comfortable for people.
Of course, we appreciate that. So can you share any department highlights or projects that the maintenance team has accomplished and that you've been a part of, so people you can brag a little bit. Tell us about your department and things that you're proud of in the work that you do.
There's many projects that we've done here since I've been here, and as a team and individual. But one of the things that I really like is working with the BAS system. We've done some things recently that we've incorporated a lot of safety into the buildings. I can actually shut down each school individually or all of them at once if there's any kind of air outside that's not good to come into the school. We have some kind of accident or something. And we also use it for the energy conservation.
Right.
And we've been getting better and better at that, shutting the schools down.
Yeah.
When other people need the electric, we can hone all our things down.
We actually just got a report, I think, where we saved $12,000 or some number like that from our our yearly contract that we have.
Correct. And then the other week we got $3,500 back for 2 schools.
Yeah.
So it really helps out. It makes us.
Those are the things that people don't hear when it's like, hey, on this day we have to really try to conserve energy. We're going to go to sunlight and we're going to dim the hallway lights, those type of things, because we're involved with PICO or the other groups that are running the power.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I really wanted to talk with you is because we're in December, right? We've already had our first little dusting there with some weather. I hear that we have some snow coming in on Saturday night. I was thrilled because that's not a school conversation I have to have or get up early for. But want to really talk about the role the maintenance team has when we get the bad weather. So wanted to talk with you to see, when snow is in the forecast, how does the maintenance team get ready? Because you guys are waiting on the call just as everyone else and probably have to think about it ahead of time in terms of all the potential snow and ice and getting ready for the goal of having in-person instruction.
Right. First of all, we go back till September and August because we have to get all the equipment ready.
Right.
So we start actually there getting ready for snow, getting the equipment ready, going over things, getting spares if we need them. But when the snow's coming like that, each snowstorm is different. So it basically predicts what we do. But on a normal 2-hour delay or something like that, we're in here at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Getting everything ready, doing the sidewalks. And it's not just the maintenance, it's custodial too. They help salt, they help do the sidewalks, run some smaller equipment up and down the sidewalks. It's a team effort. And it's, if you look at it, it's looks like unorganized chaos,
Sure.
but it really works.
Yeah, but you guys have your schedules, right? So you said 4 a.m. you're here. Let's say you knew there was a 2-hour delay, so you have to clear the snow, get ready for the salt and the ice, those type of things. Do we have any outside contractors, or is it all in-house?
We don't. It's all in-house.
It's all in-house.
And we usually know how the schools go, the high school first, the middle school, and then we go to the secondary schools because they start a little bit later.
Sure.
And we've really had good success. Our team is really good.
Right.
Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows their part. And if something does happen, we just fill in right away. And we're in constant communication with our director of facilities.
Sure.
Because that's important to get back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he's on those calls with us if we're making the call late at night or if it's 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, he's as well. So if it's a decision of can we do this or he needs to know from you, from your team, that it's possible to have a 2-hour delay, or there's no way. There's been decisions where it's like there's so much snow we can't have a 2-hour delay. It's not the school's not opening today, and that obviously makes my decision a little easier at that point. I mean, if we can't get there, no different than the conversation I have with Mrs. Malone on transportation. I mean, if the buses can't roll or the ice is too much, that really helps to make those decisions.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What's something about the winter maintenance that you wish more people understood, or how can staff and parents help you guys get ready and make your job as smooth as possible to get those buildings ready for the kids and teachers?
When we get the buildings ready, it's nice that if we have a 2-hour delay, that everybody stays out of the parking lots. And even when we don't have school, a lot of people like to come at different schools sledding. They park in the lots. It makes it really difficult for us to keep the lots good and safe for our students and staff.
Right.
But we do as much as we can right away. Like I said again, the storms dictate what we do and how we do it. Some days we may pre-salt the day ahead of time because we know it's coming. We want to get a jump on it and what kind of snow's coming. You almost become a weatherman watching the weather daily.
Yeah. Well, we don't brine, right? Because I see that on the roadways. That's more of a street thing. But you said pre-salt.
Correct. Yeah, correct. We pre-salt like the sidewalks a little bit, and we'll do the parking lots depending on the snow.
Right. Right. And you said it's also not just maintenance custodial. So if a day we know we're closing, I know that some of the second shift custodians are asked to come in to help clean the schools and the sidewalks and those type of things as well.
That's correct. And they do, and they come in. They're a big help, part of the team. They really do a lot of stuff for us.
Right. Anything else on maintenance or anything to close that conversation up?
No, I mean, that's pretty much of an average day.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate hearing the behind-the-scenes details because weather is a big part. It's one of the biggest questions I get, and I know when I'm in schools and then someone finds out like that I'm involved in the decision to be at school, everyone typically wants a fid day or a snow day,
Yes.
And I know that helps sometimes. So, one last general question: being a part of a maintenance team, what do you think people will be surprised to learn about being a maintenance team member or a part of the Upper Perk team?
I think how versatile our department really is. We have a lot of guys that have certain set skills, but they go beyond there.
Sure.
And working as a team, it really helps. Everybody's willing to learn something from the other guy, and it makes our team even better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
I would agree. I mean, in that period of time that we had a couple, maybe over a year ago, where I was assisting a little bit in the department, the team custodial, the lead custodians, the custodians in general, the maintenance team did a fantastic job of keeping things moving forward with all the confidence and appreciated everyone's efforts.
Yeah, and then everybody's main goal here is to make it sure that everybody's comfortable and safe at the schools.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a good time. I appreciate your time. I'm hoping that it only snows on the weekends, like it's coming up this Saturday, which is great, although it may have a challenge getting to the Eagles game is what I understand. But
that doesn't mean with the snow coming Saturday, we'll probably be in.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, we appreciate that. So we've already had one flexible instructional day, and we have a couple more if we need them. So we'll do our best. But we really, really appreciate your time and learning about the process.
I appreciate you having me here. I really enjoyed it.
I'm excited to talk to our next guest today, who recently was sworn in to serve for the next 4 years on the Upper Perkiomen School Board. So please join me in welcoming new school board member, Mrs. Paige Konopelsky. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Great. 4 years, that's a long time that you're committing to, right?
Yeah.
As you were just mentioning, your child is in second grade.
Yep.
So all the way through sixth grade, that's the commitment you
Yeah.
have. That's great. I think you'll enjoy.
I think so,
you'll enjoy.
too.
Yeah. So how has your first 2 weeks as a school board member been? Participating in the oath of office, having your first board meeting. We were here late last night on another meeting.
I know, it hasn't even been 12 hours.
I know, that's what happens. How's the first 2 weeks been?
It's been amazing. I think that we have a really strong administration, and it's very supportive. I met, but prior to our meeting last night, I met with Melanie to go over some STEB ratios and just kind of get me up to speed.
Right.
So everyone's been wonderful.
So let's start off. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your connection to the Upper Perk community.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I moved here 8 years ago with my husband. We had an 11-month-old at the time, and now we have 3 boys. 2 of them are at Hereford, and 1 will be attending next year. He's in pre-K this year.
Awesome.
We try to remain very involved in the community. My husband, he's very involved with Valley Soccer. So he runs both intramural and travel teams. With Kristen Knott, who's actually another, she's a teacher at the high school, so that's pretty cool. And I was very involved with the library board. I just reluctantly stepped down from that because I don't know how I'm going to do both of them. So, so we try to remain involved in the community. That's really important to us. And we want to set a good example for our sons, since you have to create the world you want to live in,
And there is the board commitment's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I see they've already got you signed up for the Western Center. JOC, so that's once a month to take a ride down to Limerick to the site down there.
I think that that's so important, though, and I'm actually really happy that Keith spoke to me about that. My mom's a hairstylist. My husband's a welder. I think that the trades are so important. I think that having that and seeing how that's expanded even in the 2 years that I've been following board stuff is amazing. So I'm really excited to continue to see how that goes.
Yeah, it's unique to sit on a board with 3 people from Upper Perk, 3 people from Springport, 3 people from Pottsgrove with much different takes on things. And it's being the superintendent of record there for a couple of years and now rotating off and then I'll eventually rotate back on. It is a great experience. So what's one thing you'd like the community and our listeners here to know about you as you begin your journey as a school board member?
I think that the nature of being a school board member is that not everybody is going to like you. They're not going to like the decisions. And I think that you've done a really good job of, putting things in the paper. And I think transparency is very important, but how much time do we have in 24 hours, right? Yeah. Not everyone is going to like the decisions or the way that I vote, but I truly am here for everybody. Advocacy is in my mind the most important role. That is what I ran on. That is what I believe. And I hope to educate in the way of being transparent and to advocate. Those are my goals. Right. I also think that diversity is our greatest strength. I think that having a bunch of different people from different backgrounds with different experiences and really allows us to tackle things in a myriad of different ways. And I think that that's what makes you successful. It's your adaptability. And you can't do that if everybody thinks the same. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's going to be one of our strengths. I think our board is, I think we have a lot of different opinions, but I hope that we all share the same common goals.
Thank you to our guests on this episode, Mrs. Stephens, Mr. Weinsteiger, and Mrs. Konopelsky. We appreciate your time and effort at Upper Perk. On our next episode, we'll be joined by our 5th and final principal, Mr. Frank Flanagan from Upper Perk High School, and another new school board member, Monica Oswald, and we're working on one final guest for that episode. So stay tuned. Thank you again to everyone for listening to the episode, and have a great rest of 2025. As always, I am proud to be UPSD.